Hello and welcome to Are You Getting the Most Out of Your CRM? Thank you for joining me. I'm going to share my screen with you. And this video is all about are you getting the most out of your CRM? And there's probably one of four reasons that you have joined me today. You either currently have a CRM but you're not happy with it, or you're thinking about a CRM but you are unsure which to choose. You have a Capsule CRM but know you could do so much more with it, or you've signed up to Capsule and not done anything with it yet. So you probably fit into one of those four categories. And I'm going to help you today to be more comfortable with CRMs and to make the most of them. So what's on the agenda for this meeting? Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the difference that we make, and then we're going to look at the most common mistakes that I found people that I work with have made in the past. So they're the most common mistakes relating to CRMs. We're going to look at how to fix them or avoid them. We're going to have a look at Capsule itself. We're going to do a deep dive into two areas. Those two areas are making the most of your data in lists and pipeline, because they are two incredibly useful areas and two underused areas, but they are two areas that will make the most significant impact in your business. And we're going to look at the new functionality that Capsule have brought out over the last few months. So what difference do we make? Well, we make, I would say, a huge difference to our clients. And the lovely Emma Ewing was at an event that I was at a few weeks ago, and she came flying up to me and she literally said, "Julia, I just want to thank you. Without you, we wouldn't be able to manage the business efficiently without Capsule." And I have 29 training sessions booked in for the next few weeks, and they are all being managed in Capsule. And I worked with Emma a number of years ago now, and for a long time, and we really got her Capsule sorted for her and her team, and it's great to receive that feedback. I worked with Helen Steele as well, and the feedback that we got from Helen after sorting out her CRM for her was that deals were closing 25% faster than before, leads are converting 50% faster than before, and more leads are being converted. And that's the type of thing that we love to hear. Caroline Barlin is another lovely client of mine, and she actually, as it says there, reduced the admin time of 4 hours per week down to 15 minutes because of the efficiencies and the processes that we embedded into her CRM. And they go on to say that we're now using the time we've saved on newly streamlined business development process, and that when we worked with her, she had doubled the size of her team and seen an incredible 40% profit, 40% increase in the profit in 1 year. So getting these things right really do make a difference. So who am I, and why do we do what we do here at Blake Consultants? I'm Julia Blake, and I started my own business about 12 years ago, and I was really lucky. I had projects coming in and everything was fine, everything was great. And then a long project I worked on came to an end. So I was like, oh, that's strange. Came to a natural end. It all completed really nicely, but I didn't have anything else. So I had to ramp up the business development. And then I got some work, got a nice project, and then the same thing happened again. And it was a horrible place to be. Feast and famine is very, very common in running a small business, and it's really an unpleasant place to be. So then a couple of clients came to me and they were using a CRM called Capsule. They asked me to help them sort it out, which I did, made it more efficient for them. I thought, this is rather good. I could do with something like this. So I installed it myself, started using it. And then I realized that when it was integrated with an accounts package like Xero or QuickBooks, or then it was integrated with an email delivery system such as MailChimp or Transpond now, then a business owner had all the systems in place to be developing their business whilst they were out delivering. So that whole feast and famine, that whole peaks and troughs was reduced significantly. And that is a phenomenally powerful place to be, where your business is carrying on generating interest whilst you are delivering. So that's one of the main reasons why I run the business that I do, is to help business owners get through that. And I help business owners do more of what they want to do, less of what they don't want to do. I help business owners run successful businesses that are increasing in net profit, because the systems that we set up, they increase revenue and they decrease costs. They decrease the cost of sales, they decrease the cost of delivery. So overall, you get an increased net profit. So that's why we do it. And ultimately, we want to help business owners grow. We want to help more business owners do what they want to do and less what they don't want to do, because there's real power in the small business community, and small businesses are making such a difference out there, and we want to help them do that. So the agenda for today is we're going to look at the difference we make, which we've done. Then we're going to look at the most common mistakes. So I've worked with a lot of business owners over the years, helped dozens and dozens, set dozens and dozens up on CRM. And my favorite CRM is Capsule. And I talk to lots of business owners, and I see that these are the three most common mistakes: not taking time to plan and map out the system prior to setting up, not understanding the difference between data tags and custom fields, and not making the most of pipeline, especially the sale process, and getting it into a track. Okay, so we're going to look at each of those individually and how to fix them and how to avoid them. So how to fix or avoid, right? So number one, the most common, one of the three top mistakes is not taking time to plan and map out the system prior to setting up. And resolve this by really knowing who your ideal client is, have an ideal client avatar, and I'll explain the difference there in a minute, and really know what you want to get out of the CRM in the future, and set time aside. Be patient. Don't be tempted to jump straight into these systems. It really pays off to invest time and energy upfront thinking about who your ideal client is, and thinking about what you want to get out of it in the future. So if you project yourself forward by 6 months to a year, and you're saying, well, I want to know what clients I have, in which industry, what service they was delivered to them, then we need to create that at the outset, because otherwise we're not going to be able to find that information in a few months' time. So can't stress how important it is to know who your ideal client is. So when we think about an ideal client, we're possibly thinking about an organisation or a person, but if we use the organisation as an example, then an organisation is an ideal client. Perhaps it's an organisation perhaps it's an HR consultancy, something along those lines. The HR consultancy is the ideal client. Maybe they have 10 to 15 staff. They may be located in a certain area, but there's certain bits of information that's really relevant to that HR consultant that we'd like to capture. So number of staff, as I said, location, that type of thing. We never capture information that's not needed. That's not the right thing to do at all, but we want to capture, that's who the ideal client is in this scenario. But of course, the person that works at that ideal client, who actually is the person that you are liaising with. They have the pain that you're helping to solve, and they are the person with whom you have the interaction. The organisation they work for is the legal entity that you might have the contract with and pays the bill, but it's the human there that has the issue that you and your business help to resolve. So understand who your ideal client is, and then have an ideal client avatar. That ideal client avatar is a fictitious person who has the pain that you are solving. So they would be potentially maybe the business owner who owns the HR consultancy. Maybe their pains are that team aren't communicating as well as they would like them to. Maybe they want to actually spend less time behind the scenes and more time out and about, generating interest in their own business, all sorts of things. But they are the ideal client avatar, and it's the ideal client avatar that you talk to within your marketing, and it's the ideal client avatar that you think of when you are creating a CRM and the processes, because you are taking that person through a sales process and then a delivery process. So you're thinking about that person when you're designing the CRM as well as in your marketing. Doing that will have massive ripple effect throughout your business. So the second mistake was not understanding the difference between tags, data tags, and custom fields. And this is a very common misunderstanding, particularly in Capsule. So how can we resolve this? By understanding the structure and getting the help today to understand the structure. So a tag and a data tag look exactly the same, and they are a way of grouping people or organizations within the CRM. So you might have a networking tag, you might have a prospect tag or a potential client tag or an active client tag or a previous client tag. They are a way of capturing where that person or organization is on their journey with you. You could also have a tag for associates or people that are on your partner program or for suppliers. So you can have a tag, / data tag, to group contacts. The difference between a tag and a data tag is that when you apply a data tag, say networking, then another screen can pop up with custom fields that are only relevant and used for that data tag. So prospect could just be a tag. You don't need to capture any other information. You might not have any other information about a prospect, but you could have a networking data tag. So that identifies that you've met somebody during a networking event, and then another screen can pop up because a custom field has been sitting underneath that data tag, which may be which networking event. And we'll go on and show you how to do that in Capsule itself. That's the difference between a tag and a data tag, that when a data tag is applied, another group of custom fields pop up on the screen that encourage us to capture information and add detail that is only relevant for that data tag, not for everybody. Then you have custom fields that are available for everybody. So you might want to have custom fields for organizations. It might be an industry list that will be available for all organizations. You might want to have a custom field, which is the role that a person has within an organization. That would be available for everybody on the system, regardless of whether they're a supplier or an associate or a client. They are available for everybody. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a little dive into behind the scenes of Capsule to explain that more fully. There are 3 main areas of Capsule. The first is the data bank, which is the glorified file of facts. It's where all organizations and all people sit. Then you have opportunities, and that's where we are literally managing the opportunity to do some work for somebody, or maybe the opportunity for a partner program. There's all sorts of different opportunities, but predominantly it's where we manage the opportunities to do some work for an organization or for somebody. So it's our pipeline. And then we have projects. So some of those opportunities will convert and become work, and we can manage that work within projects in Capsule. So 3 main areas: data bank, predominantly everybody's there, but that's where we can do our marketing from. Then we have opportunities, that's the pipeline, and then projects, that's where we're delivering what we deliver. So the data bank is a central storage space, and we can do marketing from it. Opportunities is the sales pipeline, and projects is the deliverable work. So typically somebody will come in and start off at the data bank, so a prospect. That prospect will show themselves to be interested in what we offer, so the opportunity will be created. They'll be taken through the pre-sales process, and hopefully, fingers crossed, will convert to become some actual work, and we can manage the delivery of that work in projects. And then the whole thing can start again, because you think about your product staircase, you want to take people through this journey maybe several times so that you can realize the lifetime value of your clients. It's 5 times more costly to acquire a new client than it is to keep working with a client. So it's really important to think of your whole customer journey whilst designing a CRM so that you can support the customer or the client where they need to be supported. And if you need any help with that, then that's one of the things that I do with my clients. I do map out customer journeys as well as design CRMs, because it's part of it, of course. And then these three areas are supported by accounting software. It doesn't have to be, but it works beautifully when it does, such as Xero or QuickBooks, and also supported by an email delivery system that you can send out campaigns, automations, etc. Excuse me. So MailChimp is one that is often used, and Capsule have recently integrated with Transpond, which looks absolutely amazing, and I will be doing more videos on that. Excuse me. So, just to go back to the tags and the data tags and the custom fields and explain how they fit into those three main areas, because we can take the off-the-shelf Capsule CRM and we can make it more sophisticated. The off-the-shelf product is amazing. We can make it more sophisticated and really reflect our own business and how we work. So in the data bank, we have organizations and we have people, and people hang off of organizations. This is a two-tier structure. So you don't have a head office, you just have an organization and then a person. If you do have a business model where you want to capture the head office, then you can just create a custom field, which is literally head office, and then you can put the organization's name into there. You have the organization, and you might have some custom fields for the organization, such as industry, as we've already said, or number of staff, that type of thing. But you also can tag that organization. You might tag them as prospect or potential client or supplier. You can add multiple tags to organizations, and you can also add data tags. So you might have a data tag if an organization was tagged as a supplier, then you might have a data tag which would be supplier of what. Okay, so that would be the custom field that sits underneath the data tag of supplier. And then we can have people as well, or person records, and we can have custom fields that sit and are available for all of the people on the system, such as role, whether they're a business owner, or do they work in a particular function, have they opted in, all sorts of things. So we can have multiple custom fields. And then we can also tag those people. So we'd also tag the person as a potential client, as well as the organization as potential clients, or we might tag the person as a prospect or as an active client. And we have multiple tags. So you might have a client who's also a supplier, or you might have a client who's also an associate. And then you can have data tags that capture relevant information, such as networking. So you might meet somebody at a networking event and you might want to capture which networking event. So you have this structure in the data bank. Now you can make the system even more sophisticated and more multi-layered, because we also have the ability to have tags, data tags, and custom fields for opportunities, and they are different to the ones that we have for the data bank. So we might have some custom fields that are available for all opportunities, maybe source of opportunity. That would be a great custom field. Or if you have a partner program, you might have the custom field, which was which partner referred this opportunity. And then you have tags. So if you have different revenue streams, you can use tags within opportunities to identify which revenue stream this opportunity is sitting in. You might have a revenue stream for service A or service B and service C. So you can create tags, service A, service B, service C, and then you can drill down into all the opportunities that relate to your service A versus all the opportunities that relate to your service B. We also have data tags. So if you did have service A and it was quite different to service B, then you might want to capture different information about service A. So you can set up some custom fields there to capture that information. And the same goes for projects. This is where we can manage what we deliver. So we have custom fields that are available for all projects, maybe start date. That would be a great custom field. And then you also have tags. So you might have delivery of service A, delivery of service B, delivery of service C. And if the services are quite different, then you might have different custom fields that sit under those data tags. But you can see that we can really now map out what we want to go where, because we can see this structure, and this helps us work out what needs to reside where. So in data bank, you might have source of contact as one of the custom fields, but in opportunities, you would have source of opportunity as one of the custom fields potentially. But you can see that that's really helps us map that out. And if you want any help mapping that out, then I'm here to help with that as well. So an extra layer of sophistication within opportunities is milestones. We can identify where an opportunity is within our sales cycle by identifying different milestones. And they could be really simple, and do keep things as simple as possible because there is beauty in simplicity. But you have milestone might be initial inquiry, and then the second milestone might be meeting/call. Third milestone might be proposal. Fourth milestone might be verbal acceptance of proposal, and the final one could be T's and C's. So, and then after that, it's either won or it's lost. You can also capture lost reasons in Capsule. So if you capture the lost reasons, then you can go back and look at that information. And if you're constantly losing opportunities because the price is too high, then you know that you either need to tweak your marketing, get a different prospect in at the outset, or you need to potentially look at reducing your prices. But it might be a tweak in your marketing. Maybe you're attracting the wrong type of person or organisation to you. You might have a lost reason that is the time is wrong, that type of thing. And then you could, if there's a pattern there, then you can tweak what's going on in the rest of your business to iron out and reduce the number of opportunities that are lost. So, as well as having milestones in opportunities, we also now have stages in projects. So you can identify the different stages of what you're delivering. So you might have perhaps the first stage might be kickoff meeting, the second stage might be draft design, the third stage might be edit the draft design, all the way up to actually delivering the final piece of work. And then you could have a stage after that, which would be to ask for a recommendation or do a case study, and then after that we could even have a stage which is 3 months later, which is to check in with the client and see how they're getting on. So there's all sorts of things, and they are all bespokeable. In the professional plan and the free plan, you get one pipeline and one project board. In the teams plan, which is the next package up, then you could have multiple pipelines. So you could literally have a sales pipeline for service A, a sales pipeline for service B, a sales pipeline for service C, and a sales pipeline for your project, for your partner program. And then it also gives you multiple project boards. So you might have a different way to deliver service A to service B, service C, and you could have different project boards for each of those 3 services, or you could have a project board for onboarding or managing your partner program. So the world is your oyster, but you do get those extra bits and pieces in the Teams plan, as well as some other additional functionality as well. Clients that come through myself, we do have the great opportunity to actually get a reduction in the price of the Teams plan for the first 3 months. So do reach out and talk to me if you are interested in that. So the third, the third biggest mistake that I see, or one of the top mistakes I see, is not making most of the different areas, especially pipeline and sales process. Not only can we do everything that we just saw in the last slide, but we can also have our sales process in Capsule in the form of a track. So we might have, it's quite a simple sales process, again, keep it simple. And I've got a great blog on how to have a kick-ass sales process that you might want to check out. But it really helps you work through what your sales process might look like. We can put that process into a track in Capsule. And we are then encouraged by Capsule to do the next thing. So after send proposal, we might have 3 days later follow up on proposal. Then we might have 3 days later send T's and C's. Whatever your sales process is, that can be captured in a track, and Capsule can nudge us to do the next thing. So it's like having a clone of your best self. It really works really, really well. And again, I do this a lot for my clients, so do reach out if you want to have a chat about that. But the way to avoid it is through understanding and the help that I'm giving today. So hopefully it already is helpful. So we've looked so far at the difference that we make to our clients. We've looked at the common mistakes. We've looked at how to fix or avoid them. And now we're going to have a look at Capsule itself. So why is it important to look at Capsule? Why is it important to do this whole CRM thing? Because the businesses which will cope best with whatever's in the future will be the ones that have the processes and systems which support them, so that they know their numbers and can therefore make informed decisions. We all need to make so many decisions, don't we, as business owners? By having the numbers, and we can make informed decisions. If you know how many opportunities you've got and you know what percentage of those you actually historically convert to becoming actual clients, then you can work out how many opportunities you need to have in your pipeline. If you know how many conversations you need to have to actually get to the point where they are an opportunity, then you can work out. So you can work that out. So say you have 50 conversations that will turn into 20 opportunities, and then 5 of those 20 will turn into actual pieces of work. You will be able to glean that information and you will be able to make informed decisions, because if you've only got 20 calls in the diary, then you need to put another 30 in, that type of thing. So the information which we get out of the systems is so powerful. But of course, the information we get out is only as good as the information we put in. So we do have to keep on top of these things, but it will be worth its weight in gold. Ultimately, what we get is harmony when the system is working properly and we are in tune with the system, because we've built it to support us and our business. We're not trying to put a square peg into a round hole. We have a system that supports us. So it creates harmony, not only within the business where, for example, you've got the data bank that's talking with the pipeline and talking with the projects area, you've got harmony within the whole system. So that's harmony then within the business, but harmony within ourselves. And when we are less stressed, then we are able to be more creative. In fact, when we are happy as individuals, then we are actually 30% more productive. So this is really important, to feel harmony, joy, calm in ourselves, because that really will filter out into our businesses, and our business will respond to that. If you think of a business as separate entities to ourselves, which is quite difficult sometimes when you're a business owner and there's nobody else within your team, but actually you kind of do. You need to nurture your business. Think of it as a living entity in its own right. You need to nurture it, look after it. And when you do that, you will see huge rewards. And a CRM actually enables us to do that. So we're looking for harmony within the system, harmony within the business, and harmony within ourselves, and it all will pay off. This is a favourite image of mine, which I share so often. CRM, calm replaces mania. So I think that sums it up quite nicely. Okay, so just before we dip into Capsule, I want to just share 3 top tips which are relevant for CRMs and Capsule as well. Take yourself away from the screens and drill down into the ideal client and create an ideal client avatar. Can't emphasize enough how important that is. Get clear on your revenue streams, your product staircase, and your lifetime value of your clients, and map these out. Create a customer journey. Identify what the customer needs to make a decision at each point in this process. That can all be built into a CRM to really enable you to do what you do really well, so your clients will benefit hugely from it. So 3 top tips there, regardless of the CRM, but of course I do particularly favour Capsule because it just lends itself so well to all of this. So let's have a look at Capsule. And in true Blue Pizza style, I have got it ready to share with you. So we're at the login screen here. Don't forget you can put your own logo into the screen just to make it more your own. So do that. And we're going to click on login. And there you go. I'm going to click again on login. Just bear with me. Just when I sort this out. It shows that it's live recording. Okay. And here we go. Oops, wrong screen. So back to sharing the screen and logging in. There we go. So here we have the entry point to Capsule. And if you haven't integrated your Outlook or your Gmail yet, then this screen will instantly look slightly different to what you're used to. That's because on the top left-hand side, we have the calendar integration with Outlook working really well. And we can see that today's events, we've got a meeting that is happening, and all of the meetings that are happening today will be listed here. So as soon as you go into your system in the morning, you can see what's going on. Then underneath that, we've got the tasks, all overdue tasks, and then tasks that are due within the next 7 days. And the day the task is due, an email will be sent to you by Capsule. So there's various ways to stay on top of the work, but you can see here that you can create a nice to-do list to focus on. So that's a really useful area. And if you have any contacts that are added via MailChimp or any other system, a web form, for example, then a task will be created for you to tell you that a contact has been created, so you can pop into that contact and add any additional information. And in the 2/3 on the right-hand side, what we've got here is a scrolling history in chronological order of the activity on the account. So, and this will be for all of the users. You could actually drill down. If you have multiple users, then you can drill down and just look at your own, and you could see all notes, emails, or tasks, or everything. So here we have an email that was sent from one email address of mine to another from within the system. So that's a new development as well. So that's all brilliant. And then we've got one here that was sent to Andy Steer, the IT chap, who do reach out to or let me know if you'd like an introduction. He's phenomenal at IT support. But we've got a nice test going on here, which again I sent from within the system. So if we just pop and look at a record called JBlogs. So we just popped into, this is a fictitious person that's got my email address, but a fictitious person. So JBlogs works at JB Limited, and we've tagged JBlogs as a Capsule user. This is where we add the tags. So the tags that I've already set up in the system in true Blue Peter style are client active, client potential previously, which means you were talking to them, but they didn't convert into a client previous. And we've got along the lines of industry expert or networking. And I'm going to click on networking because I want to show you a data tag. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to remove that Capsule user and add Capsule user. Now that is a tag that is just a tag, straight on, nothing else popped up. Data tag is networking as a data tag. I'm going to click on that and up pops another screen. Now this yellow bar on the left means that it's they've been designated as an important field. So what we have to do there is that we don't have to do anything, but we are encouraged by the system to populate that field. So the data tag networking has popped up with an additional custom field which we've built behind the scenes, which is which event. So it's a very good example of a data tag there. So we just press save, we don't have to fill it in. If we don't, then we've got missing important fields. You can go to edit, and then you can see which important field is missing information. Okay, and in this edit contact, you have all the ability to add phone numbers, social networks, addresses, physical addresses, everything that you need for that person. And any custom fields that have been created will also be available there. So we've got the custom fields of role, maybe they're a board level or a C-suite. So let's put Joe Bloggs as C-suite. Was it a partner referral? If so, which partner? And that type of thing. So we can press save. And then you can see that Joe's record has changed. Joe now has role C-suite. That means that we can search on that because we can search on the majority of fields, especially if we make them searchable when we set them up. This is Joe's record. Joe works with JB Limited, and if your ideal client is an organisation, do make sure you capture as much information about the organisation as possible. So there might be an address for that organisation that may be different for the person who works there, for example, and you have the ability to capture both of those. So the address for the organisation would be on the organisation, and the address for the person would be sitting on the person's record. So we can edit here, and then this little V is a separate bunch of instructions. So we could send an email, we could merge or convert to an organisation, we could add an opportunity here or add a project, export as a V card or print summary or delete. So lots of things that we can do there as well. Then in the middle part, we have the history, and that's where we can capture emails, tasks, calls, meetings. And what a new piece of functionality in Capsule is within log activity, we can add our own activity types now. Again, behind the scenes, stored behind the scenes, which is over to our name, top right, and then go to account settings. That's where we make all the changes. What I've done is add a Zoom. So we could, I literally this morning went into activity types and added Zoom, and then we can write notes, we could even attach a file, and we can press save. So we're just going to do a note, just say test and save. So this is Zoom by Julia Blake, as opposed to a note, a meeting, or a call. Now the mobile app is absolutely brilliant. If you haven't downloaded it onto your phone or tablet, then do. But when it's on a phone, if there's a phone number for a person, then you can click on that phone number. Capsule will use the typical, your normal phone provider, but it will make a note that you have called that person, and it will encourage you to make a note about the call. And you can dictate that note into the system, and Capsule will convert that note into typed text, and it'll be available for other users and for yourself when you get back to your laptop. So it's absolutely brilliant functionality. Also, what we have now here is send email. So you can send emails from the system. So you can literally just type in test and put in message. You can insert fields if you want, and new functionality, you can actually use a template. So I'm going to follow up with initial inquiry. So I've got hi Joe, which has been populated by the system. It was great to chat with you today. Thank you for your time. During the call, we ... So we would fill that in. We also discussed how important it is to know your ideal clients and to create your own ideal client avatar. Here's the link to download our ebooks. All of that is accessible in the template. You might also be interested in our blog, how to have a kick-out sales process, which will help you define your sales process for the pipeline section of Capsule. And here is the link to the Help the Growth scheme, because Capsule is one of the few CRM approved vendors in that scheme, and you can easily find out what the criteria is to actually be awarded 50% off the cost of the user licenses for Capsule for a year, I believe. So do check that out if that's of interest. Anyway, coming back to this. So this is a template. On the professional plan, you can have 5 templates. On the Teams version, which is £24 per month per user, you actually get 50 templates. And regardless if you've got the 5 or the 50, you can have templates for the data bank area, templates for the opportunity area, and templates for the projects area. And you set those templates up by going to your name, top right, then to account settings, and then to email templates. So really excellent functionality. And when you send an email from Capsule, a record of it is stored in the sent items of your email delivery system. So I'm going to press send on that. Oh. I think it's because I'm going from me to me. Okay, but I'll just cancel that. Okay, but that's how you do it. Click on send. Let's see if I can just do a test and send. Yeah, okay, so that one worked. Obviously something else going on there with the sending the email from the same person to the same person, but what has happened is that email has been sent. And then on the dashboard, we've got this JBlogs email going from me to me, but complicates it a little bit, but it has appeared here. And what you can do is also see that in JBlogs' record. And then if JBlogs replies to that, then that will also be stored. So the email integration is brilliant. You can send emails directly from Capsule. If you are in Outlook, then the functionality is brilliant there as well. You can store emails from Capsule, from Outlook to Capsule from within Outlook. So you go to Get Add-ins, add Capsule in, and then a bar will appear on the right-hand side of your Outlook that will enable you to add contact or store an email conversation. And you can store that email conversation against an opportunity or against a project, and you can add a task from Outlook as well. So lots going on with that integration. Do check it out if you haven't had a chance to already. And again, shout if you need any help. So back to the center here, we've got history, which is where we are at the moment. We've got files, so we can upload files to this contact record. We've got opportunities and we've got projects. So if we clicked on opportunities, then we might want to add an opportunity. So let's just pretend that JBlogs is the main user here, and that Joe actually is talking to Fred Smith, who's a potential client, Fred at FS Limited. So Fred appears in the contacts. The opportunity relates to FS Limited. The opportunity is Test FS Limited. We can put a description in if we want, and we can add a tag. These tags, as I said before, are different to the tags on the main contact record. So let's just pretend that Fred is interested in service A. It's initial inquiry. So again, as I said before, milestones can be added, adapted, tweaked to reflect your business model. So what I've done here is I've got initial inquiry, call, meeting, proposal verbally accepted or won or lost. So this is coming in initial inquiry, and we expect to close date. Always put this in, even if it's a guess, because one of the screens in the pipeline will take that expected value to create a graph. Expected value, just put £1,000 in there. Payment terms can be by the hour, by the day, by the week, month, quarter, per year. So let's just put fixed. And then we can have a track. Now let's have the pre-sales process track, which I've set up earlier. So we're going to add that when we create the opportunity. And then we've got a source of opportunity, and we're just going to put X, Y, Z. And we're going to press save. So we have created an opportunity here worth £1,000. It's at the initial inquiry stage, which behind the scenes we've set up as a 10% probability. So each of those milestones have a different probability. Capsule takes the probability, multiplies it by the opportunity, adds them all together to give us the overall pipeline, which we're going to look at next. But here we have the track. So when we tick off one of the tasks, then the pre-designated amount of time afterwards, we'll get a reminder. So if I tick this off, initial conversation today, then the follow-up email will pop up in 2 working days, which will be Monday the 24th. I'll receive an email on that day saying that a follow-up email is due to be sent. So you can see how that works really well. And it's like having a clone of our best self. It really does prompt us to do what we need to do. You can, of course, always add ad hoc tasks if you want to. So emails can be uploaded to here from Outlook or copied in, and do shout if you want any help with that. But if we look at the overarching pipeline now, So you can see that we've got the inquiry, our opportunity that we've just created here, and some other ones as well. So if we look at the top here, we've got the projected value of 76,300 versus a total value of 334,800. That's because the opportunity here is based on the probability, and over here is based on 100% success. So, as I've already mentioned, in the teams plan, you do get more than one pipeline. So in this DEM version, I've got a partner program and a sales pipeline, and you get different milestones in each, but we're in the sales pipeline. But if you have the professional plan or the free plan, then you can actually capture different revenue streams by creating tags. And as previously explained, these tags are different to tags and tags in Databank and different to tags in projects. So you could have interested in service A, B, or C. So they're your revenue streams, for example. And we're just going to press clear. So that's any tag, and then you can see some extra ones have popped up. And if one of those closes, then you can actually just drag and drop, put it into the lost bucket, into the one bucket, or move the opportunity to a different pipeline. But we're going to put that into the one bucket. And so the projected value and the total value changes, of course, to reflect that. But it updates it, and it's just really really Windows based. You can just move it along here, just drag and drop if you don't want to go into the actual opportunity itself. There's three ways of looking at sales pipeline. The middle button is a list, and you can change all of these column headings by clicking here on edit columns. You can export it so you can manipulate it in the spreadsheet if you wanted to. And then you have the speedometer part, which gives you the graphical representation of your pipeline. This is absolutely fantastic. You can move these dates along or shrink them down. This gives you the ability to see what's going on within your pipeline. October and November, January and February in this DEM version, they're looking a little bit sparse. So if you know you've got a 2-month lead time on any marketing activity, then you know you need to crack on working for November and for January, for example. So this is a brilliant place to actually see what's going on. And then you have the pipeline by milestone, and these blue bars are hyperlinked. So if you click on that, then you get to the 2 milestones that are sitting within that initial inquiry milestone. And then you've got the conversion rates, and you can also drill down by tag as well. So lots and lots of powerful stuff here. So let's just go back to Fred Smith's opportunity. So let's just pretend that Fred has now been converted into a client. He's been won. So we don't need to worry about inactive tasks. They will disappear. That's absolutely fine. It does just give you that warning. So this piece of work has been won. So we can now manage what we deliver to Fred by using projects. And we can click on this little V, go to add a link project, and take the change the information. Capsule will take as much of the information that it can from the opportunity. We're going to put in an expected close date, which is a new feature here, but it's very, very good. We're going to say we're expecting it to close on the 30th. We're going to add a tag, which is service of delivery A. There's a track for service delivery of service A, and perhaps we've got a custom field of a start date, and let's just put today's date in there and press save. So this changes the screen. We are now in the actual project, and we have a tag of delivery service A and the start date, and then we have the linked opportunity details, and we have who is on this piece of delivery work. Now, it's really important to add the actual contacts onto the project. If you don't, and you try and upload an email from Outlook, you won't be able to, because Outlook needs to find that person on that project to be able to store that email thread. So do add anybody that's working on this project to the project. So here we've got the green bar, and these are the stages within the project. So we have a kickoff meeting, a design version 1, final version delivered to client, and we can move the piece of work along. So that's the individual piece of work, the individual project, but then we have the project board. So this is the view of all of the work we're delivering, for example. So we've got 1 in the kickoff meeting stage, 2 in the design version stage, 1 in the final version stage. And if you have different deliverables, then you can have different tags here, which are different to the tags on data bank and opportunities, and you can drill down. So we're just going to press play, and then you see we've got just drill down on the delivery of service A. And this is Windows-based, so you can just drag it along, and as well, so you don't need to go actually into the project if you don't want to. You can just have that bird's eye view. So I think that gives a whistle-stop tour of Capsule. Just to reiterate though, over on the top right-hand side, go to your name and then account settings, and then you find all the behind-the-scenes stuff. So the project boards, the pipeline, custom fields, even the mailbox connections, the Dropbox, the email templates. So if you click on email templates, you get email templates in people and organizations or opportunities or in projects. You can go back to account settings. This is where you manage your tags and data tags. You can add to task categories, so you can batch your work. So say that you want to do all your follow-ups, you can literally drill down onto your follow-ups. Activity type, this is where you can create all sorts of different activity types. And all of these feed into the reports that Capsule give us. So, so we've got activity completed, and you can see there that we've got the zoom at the bottom. So this is a great way of reporting on lots of other stuff as well. So to recap, 3 main areas of Capsule: people and organizations. This is where you can dice and slice and really get data out of the system. So we'll talk a lot about, I use Rubik's Cube a lot as an analogy. When often when we build a CRM, people are moving from a spreadsheet, a 2-dimensional spreadsheet, into a CRM. And actually, when the data gets into a CRM, you can dice and slice that data. So you could have a green slide, or a yellow slide, or a red slide. And that, maybe the prospects are like the equivalent of the red slide. So you could just literally drill down into just your prospects. Okay, take that off. So just your prospects. So that would be the equivalent of like the red side. Or you might want to drill down into the actual active clients. You might want to drill down into active clients who have an email address or have tags, or in a certain industry or a certain role, or whether a certain partner has referred them. And if you have a complex list, then do save list as. And one of the things we haven't touched on yet is this new integration with Transpond, and it's absolutely brilliant. I'm 99% of the way there, not quite 99.9%, which is what I want to get to before I share any videos about it. But with Transpond, and this is this black button here, then over on the right-hand side, when this is truly integrated, you'll be able to see what lists somebody's on in Transpond, whether they've opened, campaigns clicked. All of that good information is all there on the screen for you. And of course, when you've integrated with Xero, you also get that financial information as well. So you get a 360-degree view of what is going on with your contacts. So in this case, we can see what they're tagged with, what they mean to you. You can see their social media profiles, email addresses, which you can email straight. You can email them straight from Capsule, and you've got information about them as an active client. You've also got a history of the communication. You can see there's 7 opportunities here. There's 5 projects. They've got a pipeline value of 33,000. So all of this can be seen really, really easily. And Transpond is fabulous. So the reason I thought of Transpond when I was telling you about saved lists is that when you integrate with Transpond, the lists that you save go over, the tags, the custom fields, the data tags, they all go to Transpond, which means that you have true integration. Don't make the mistake I made, which was actually just setting it all up without actually tidying up a little bit of data first and having a play with Transpond first. I just went straight into it and immediately went, oh blast, I wish I'd done some housekeeping on my own data. So please don't make the mistake I've made. Do sign up to Transpond first, have a play with it, have a look. It's brilliant because you can bring in any MailChimp campaigns, any MailChimp templates, any MailChimp audiences can go into Transpond. There's a good integration there to bring stuff over, and it looks like it's going to cost a fraction of the price of MailChimp. And the fact that it integrates so beautifully is just going to be a real game changer. So do think about the lists that you're going to save, because they will go over to Transpond when you integrate. But sign up to Transpond, have a play before you integrate it, and there'll be a link in the comments for you to sign up to Transpond to have a look. But it looks very powerful, really good indeed. So back to bird's eye view. We've got the data bank, which is people and organisations. That's here. The next main area that we've been talking about is pipeline, and that's here, and the next main area is projects. So everybody will go to people and organisations. Some of those will go on to have an opportunity created for them, and some of those will go on to actually have work delivered to them. So you can see how Capsule can help you manage that entire journey. Very, very powerful indeed. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to pop the PowerPoint back up. Oh. Sharing screen first would be good. And there we go. So we've done a deep dive into the two main areas, and now let's have a look at the new features. So the Outlook integration is really good. So Capsule is privately owned and based in Manchester. The team are just such lovely people. They're an amazing organisation to work with. They're absolutely fab. They've been working really hard on these new features, been working really hard on this Outlook integration, and it's superb. It's really easy to do. You will need the paid version of Microsoft 365, but it's well worth it to get this integration if you haven't already got that. It's absolutely brilliant. It's a game changer. Activity type is a new thing. We've touched on that. I used the example of setting up an activity type of Zoom. Very powerful indeed. Projects, we've had a good look at projects. This is where you can manage not only your own work that you're delivering, managing the work that you deliver to your clients, but you can also manage your own work. You could have marketing plans, business plans in there. It's really powerful stuff. The mobile app we've touched on, really powerful. Do check that out if you don't already have that on your phone. Email templates, a game changer again. You know, why do we spend time just typing the same thing, the same thing, and the same thing when we have the ability to have a template? So 5 on the professional plan, 50 on the Teams plan. And as I said before, do talk to me if you want to upgrade to Teams or have a look at it. We can get you 3 months for free. And then we have Teams itself. So the perks of Teams, which is double the price of the professional, but it's actually really, really powerful, is that if you do have a number of users and you don't necessarily want them all to see everything, then you can create teams. So you may have a marketing team, a sales team, or a sales team that's for service A, a sales team that's for service B. You might not want them to all be party to everything. So you can put one person in the service A team, one person in the service B team. You could be in both the teams, and then you get to assign common contacts and opportunities to those teams. So that's the functionality there, but you also have more email templates, and you have the ability to have multiple pipelines and multiple projects as well. So lots of perks to having Teams. I said, do reach out and have a chat if you'd like to. Transpond we've touched on. It looks like it's going to be brilliant. I will be doing videos on that when I've completely got my head around it. Bear with me, but do also reach out and talk to me about it if you'd like to just have a chat about how it could work for your business. So we've covered so much today. Thank you for your time. But really, in summary, I just wanted to share that a good CRM will support business growth by helping to increase revenue. You'll be able to target the right people at the right time, and that will lead to an increase in revenue. A good CRM will enable you to strengthen and streamline your business and help to decrease costs. Of course, with the increase in revenue and the decrease in costs, then you're increasing net profit. It will help you be more organised by enabling you to have a repeatable process. What's the point of reinventing the wheel every single time? It will save you time, and it will improve client experiences and your own experience, of course. It will improve your overview of the business and give you a 360-degree view of your clients. I hope I've shown you that in the Capsule. It really is extremely powerful. It will help you get more referrals by assisting you with setting up and running a partner program. It's really powerful stuff, partner programs. Do reach out if you want to have a chat. I work with an amazing chap who, Dave Plunkett, who specialises in this area. He is phenomenal, and running a partner program in Capsule is a very easy thing to do. It will help you win more business by enabling you to better manage your pipeline. And if you want any help in that area or any other area, then do shout out. But managing your pipeline is one of the areas that I find business owners don't spend as much time in as they could. So this is a very powerful tool to help you do that. And it will make your business a better place, because it will enable you to have better and closer relationships with your team, your associates, your suppliers, and that can only be good. So how can I help you? Hopefully I've given you enough value to that you're happy for me to share how I can work with you. I work with my clients on a project basis, where we go from a spreadsheet to a CRM, or from a CRM that's not working to a new CRM. I particularly favour Capsule, as you may have noticed. So we design together and create, and then I train and support you and your team on your bespoke system to get everybody emotionally engaged, or for, if it's a single use system, to get you emotionally engaged, if it's a team, to get everybody emotionally engaged. But we design a system that's based on good practice and your business model. Okay, so powerful stuff. I also work on an hourly consultancy basis, and I also do a package of consultancy hours, and I offer a discount for a package. So do reach out if that's something that you'd be interested in. So I hope that I have shown you how to get the most out of your CRM. They are very powerful tools and well worth spending some time looking at. Really spend time investing, really invest time and energy into this. And if you have any questions, then I can help you. Do reach out, book a discovery call. I'll put a link in the comments, send you the link, but do reach out. This is something that I love doing and helping my clients with, and I'm more than happy to help you. So if you'd like to connect, then do email me or call me, or check out my website, or find me on LinkedIn, and I have a YouTube channel that I share lots of information on as well, and you may already be on that. So, but thank you very much for your time and for joining me today.